Hello, Dale Majors here, and welcome to day 10 of our Masterclass. And today we're going to talk about the motivation formula. So I hope your whole process going through the goals and through the hats process was clarifying for you. I hope it helped. I hope it gave you new ideas and that you're feeling a higher level of engagement towards whatever role you chose. And you can go back with that and identify other roles where you're lacking engagement or where you want to do better and build those out. So thanks for being with me on this journey, and I'm just really excited for your progress. So today we're going to talk about the motivation formula, and let me tell you where kind of all of this began and how I learned about this for me. And so let me just tell you about it. So it's been 4 years since I sold my company, and right after I did, and I kind of reached a lot of my goals, I found myself sleeping in, not very motivated, which is so weird. And I've talked to other entrepreneurs who have sold their companies and aren't engaged in a new deal yet, and they're just, kind of sleeping in, bummed out. This isn't, I talked to another entrepreneur about this last week, and that was their experience too. So whenever you have some big change, or even marathon run, I talked to somebody who ran a marathon, and they're like, yeah, when I finished the marathon, I stopped training, right? Because we build up this big goal, and then when we accomplish it, if it's just about the goal, and we don't have something new to work for, then we lose our engagement level. And between hats and the motivation formula, I really hope that you can use these tools to re-engage and be re-energized in different areas of life. So let me lay this out for you. So the motivation formula has 3 components, and it's really this plus that equals motivation. So the first is there needs to be a dream gap. And what I mean by dream gap is, where are you now and where do you want to be? What is this future state that calls to you, that you're so excited about, that you want to achieve? For me, when I was 21 years old, right after I returned from a missionary service for 2 years, I wanted to get married. I wanted to be able to afford rent. I wanted to move out of my parents' basement, and I didn't want to drive my mom's minivan anymore when I went out on dates, and I wanted to make a life for myself. There was a big gap between where I was and where I knew that I could be. So you have the dream gap. Then you have a pain of failure, not a fear of failure. You have a pain of failure. If you don't close that gap, you'd be kind of bummed, okay? So there needs to be that element. Do you really want it? Do you really want it enough? You can say, I'd love to be healthy, but if you don't really care all that much, then it's not likely that you'll do anything about it. So the third element is an action plan. You need an action plan that's believable, that you believe that if you take those actions, that you will in fact close the gap and achieve those results. So that's the motivation formula, those 3 components, and the action plan is really using a lot of the stuff that we learned from the HATS model with our tactics, right? And the dream gap is almost that hope. So the more clear we get and the more of a story we tell about whatever it is that we're going through in life to get ourselves motivated, that's the difference. Have you ever thought about people that golf, right? If I were to tell you, and I guess I just said the punchline, but if I said, hey guys, let us go, and there's a huge empty field over there. I'm going to take this bag with these sticks, and I'm going to bring some balls, and we're just going to go, and it's a hot day. We're going to go over to that field, and we're going to hit balls around in that field for 4 hours. You'd be like, that seems like work, and I do not want to do that. But when you create a game around it with score and with objectives and with the detail and so on, it becomes golf, and you're like, people are paying lots of money to do it everywhere, to go and walk around and hit a ball with sticks all around the grass. That's what they do. So it really is the story that we tell ourselves. And the motivation formula and the HATS model are all tools that we can use to help tell a story that gets us motivated. All right, so the homework for today is identify what your dream gap is. And you can go back into your HATS model, into your goals, and say, well, okay, I am here and I want to be there, and kind of test out and overlay this formula with the goals that you set, because there's a lot that's the same, right? So just experiment with that. Write it out this other way though. What's my dream gap? How would I feel if I didn't reach the goal? And what's the action plan to actually close that gap? So, and by doing that, you should feel more motivation and more excitement around whatever gap you're trying to close. Okay, so that's the end of day 10 of our masterclass. Next time, we're going to be jumping into habits, and we've got several days really digging in deep into habits, and I'm going to share with you about how 5 years ago I really kind of transformed things with this stuff that I'm going to teach you, and I'm really excited to take you on that same journey that I was able to go through. So the same journey that I was able to go on. Man, grammar and all this other stuff. Whew. Okay, thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next video.